we brought up a lot of artists that have different skill sets, and we also, you said also with us hip hop fans being very cynical and stuff that we listen to. We hear this C word being thrown around a lot nowadays. Classic. It gets thrown around like gym shorts. You know what I mean? So in your mind, you being a hip hop aficionado as you are, what entails a classic album? Like what has to make a rap album, R&B album in your mind a classic in your mind?
Man, I feel like this is one of those things I've sort of aged myself out of to some degree, because to me, a classic has to be sort of culturally accepted as such at the time to some degree also. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean that things don't become classic over time. I guess that happens too. But a big argument that I get into quite a bit is that I've often argued that Drake doesn't have a classic album. Ooh. And I know a lot of people of your age group feel very different about that. And that conversation happens quite a bit. But to me, I'm like, did he have an album that in the moment, like, felt everyone was like, yup, this is it. And I don't know that I feel that he has.
Wow. That statement made me have to clean my hands. Sorry.
I saw that. Now, so then I assume if this is true, if you're gonna win this argument, then you guys are both going to, without hesitation, say the same album.
It might be Thank Me Later. It's either Thank Me Later or Take Care.
I'll say his first one.
Thank Me Later or So Far.
Yeah, I win. Yeah, I win the argument, right?
Yeah.
You got it. You got it, OG. You got it. You got it, OG.
Couldn't it be like if we said which Nas album is a definitive classic?
Oh, yeah. First or second?
Yeah,
everyone says
Illmatic.
No one's arguing about Illmatic. No one's arguing. Yep. So but listen, I'm not trying to say that I'm inherently right about that. Like, again, age, I'm in a different place in life. So when Take Care came out, I wasn't in the same place as, a 15-year-old. But I still don't think that in that moment, people viewed it that way. And although it's hard to think of, what do you guys think are the albums that recently were seen as classic, and were accepted as such when they came out?
We got to look at 10 years from now. I always think you got to look 10 years in the future. I'm like, will I still listen to this 10 years from now? Or will it still have it?
10 years back. I go 10 years back.
I'm not just, I've personally not seen the world stop like when Get Rich or Die Trying came out. I've not seen the world stop since then.
Yeah.
Like the Black album was great. Like there's some albums that came out that shook everybody that it rumbled, but when 50 Cent came out with Get Rich or Die Trying, literally
everything.
The whole industry stopped. You know what I mean? It was like, yo.
You being in New York, you've
seen it. You know what I mean?
You lived through it.
Right.
Yeah, and I wasn't in New York yet, but it stopped. Really? The world stopped in DC. I mean, it stopped everywhere.
Like everybody's like, yo, who is this dude? And it's like everybody just geared in at the same time.
I think I was in Virginia. Right. And it was just like,
man,
G-Unit shoes, G-Unit video games, G-Unit that, spinner chain.
Right.
Like,
right.
Just, yeah, like it hit across the coast.
He had a whirlwind, like, even
and now listen, that's not the only standard. You can have a classic and not stop the entire world, for sure. But is it accepted by the general audience of that genre in some short period as like, oh yeah, this is, like I would say Good Kid, Mad City became a classic almost right away.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.